All right, we're recording, and that's great. It's 7:02. Glad to be here tonight with the Extreme Makeover Website Edition. I'm Colin Martin, your host down there, and you can see me and my girl Vicky there. She's looking good, looking fine. She's sitting next to me on the couch here in Virginia Beach. She's playing on the computer, learning more about how to fix website and website problems. And I'm going to look at live websites tonight, a couple of them anyway, live. And that's what I like to do. It's what I do best. And we have a lot of fun doing that. And, well, how did I learn how to do this stuff? Well, I worked for Tom Antion for 6 years as his marketing manager and his right-hand man. And not only that, I sat and listened to consultations, and we critiqued websites of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of his mentees. He's had 1,200 mentees in his program. And the first thing that we like to do is to look at the website if they have one and see what's going on with it first and start making changes from that basic format, because your website doesn't need to be your calling card or a business card or a brochure. It needs to have a conversion-friendly tools on it, that so when people visit it, they sign up for something or they make some kind of money or something that really brands your business instead of it just being some kind of place where people just kind of hang out. You don't really want to pay for a website and spend all that time and money on one that doesn't convert. So you can see there, working for Tom was never any fun, him with the ladies and everything. But I did learn a lot anyway, even though it was a drag working for him. That's just a joke there, so don't tell Tom I said that. All right, well, I was also the head instructor at Tom's Internet Marketing Training Center. Of course, that it was the only kind of its school, or the only school of its kind in the world, and offering a dedicated internet marketing training certificate. And I was the head instructor there until just last year. So, and here's the 5 big problems. Now, I offered in my email today that I do have a coaching program, and the first thing that I do with my new clients is look at their website if they have one, and see, what's up. And regardless of the website, how old it is, or how new it is, whether they spent a lot of money or they spent, cheap amount, building an inexpensive WordPress site, or they spent $5,000, or if they're a newbie in this business, or if they have been doing this a long time. There were still 5 big problems I consistently saw that was surprising, really, because I thought that some of this information is readily available for free out there if you really want to search around or buy other programs or other teachings and trainings. But the 5 biggest problems that I saw were always very consistent, very surprising. And the big 5, as I saw it, were keywords were in the wrong places. And you're going to learn about all this stuff tonight. Where to put keywords. Keywords are what people search for. I'll get into each one of these in detail here in just a second. But keywords are not in the right places. There weren't any opt-ins or a place to sign up for anything or to grab a viewer's information, such as an email address. There was very little ways to get around your website easily. They were very confusing. Also, how many visitors could share your content? That's very important, being able to share content that people see. A visitor, if they like something, if they want to share it, there should be an easy way to do that, and I'll show you how to do that tonight. And of course, creating a more personal website experience. I'll go through each one of these in detail, and I'll show some live examples from the web, and it may even be yours, because a few people did send me some look at my website address here in the email this afternoon, and I promise I'll try to get it to as many as possible without good webinar blowing up. But first, I want to offer a prize to somebody, and very simply, this is how it works. I want to give away my autoresponder training package. What it is, it's 10 follow-up email templates that are triggered automatically through an autoresponder when someone signs up for something on your website. If someone signs up for something on your website and you give it away a freebie, or you're offering a newsletter, I want you to have 10 follow-up emails that go out every 3 days that help drive people back to your website. And I've created these templates, and they're worth $47, and I want to give it away to somebody tonight. It's a bunch of videos you can watch and the downloadable templates. And if you want it, just go. Richard's already jumping the boat here. It says, we want the prize. And if you want to, go ahead and put me. Yes, I want it. Beg really hard on here. And Kay says, oh my gosh, yes. Richard and Kay, I really think you've got these already, but maybe you're just begging to be helpful here. Jim says me. Jim, I know, could use it. And Mary says, yes, I want it. And Michelle, Perdita says, please give it to me. Even Vicky wants one because it's really worked for her business. She's already got a copy of it. I tell you what, Vicky's sign company, we're using these same templates, made almost $200,000 using these, so these are nice. Wendy says, me, pick me. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pick someone at random here. And Jim Barger. I'm going to go ahead and write that down on a piece of paper. Jim, you win the autoresponder template training. Good for you. So we're going to move along, but don't fear. I'm going to give away another one or two of these right at the very end here. So stick around for that. Jim says, all right, thank you. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Big problem number one. All right, we're going to go through the big problems number 1 through 5. And the biggest one, obviously, are keywords. Okay, what are keywords? Obviously, they're when they're search phrases that people put in when they're looking for information in Google and things like that. So when someone searches for information, they'll go to Google or Yahoo or any search engine of their choice, and they'll type in a word or phrase describing exactly what they're looking for. Google then will have to scan the text on millions and billions of sites, literally within just a millisecond, for words that match those that the searcher is looking for and returns it as a search result. So the more exact the match, the more relevant the search result will be. And it's important for Google to find exact keyword phrases wherever they may be on a website. Here's the big problem. Your keywords are in the wrong place. Obviously, if Google has to look for a keyword, word, or phrase, billions of websites in just a second and a half or so, then they're going to look in specific places and ignore the rest of the website. So I want to show you exactly where that is. In fact, search engines have to look for keywords. If you ever see a search, I don't know if they still do it, but it used to be, it would say, when you get a search result, it'll say, we found 800,000 results in 1.2 seconds. I don't know how they do that, okay? But we do know from working with Google and SEO practices where Google actually looks first on a website. And here's the thing. It starts from the top of the website and then scans to the bottom. So your keywords need to be skewed to the top of the website. And this may seem like old information to you, but it's still irrelevant. And so there are 5 places on a website where Google looks first for keywords. And the most relevant, probably 80% of where Google looks for keywords first, is in what's called the title bar. And the title bar is this area of browser, and it doesn't matter what browser you use or what kind of operating system you use, whether it's Mac or Internet Explorer or Chrome. The title, meta title area is the place where you want to put keywords. And here's a picture of Tom's site. You see that in the meta title, which shows up in the top of the browser and also in tabs. When you just hold your cursor over a tab, it'll actually show the title information. And you can see he uses certain keywords here: presentation skills, public speaking, and professional speaking. His 3 biggest keywords that relate to his business and his teaching and his coaching. So what he's done here is put those main keywords that he knows people are looking for in the title area. And not only that, each page of your website has its own dedicated title area, and the keywords need to be optimized to relate to the content on each and every page of your site, not just the home page. What I often see is someone will put a few keywords in the home page, and then the rest of them will just be about, contact, blog, whatever the title page is. They haven't used any keywords in it. If you don't put keywords in the title area, then naturally most websites, even WordPress or anything else, will just default to the name of the page. So if you name your page About Me or Contact or Store or Testimonials or something like that, then that's what's going to be in your title area. Well, those aren't keywords. So now Google has had to skip the title bar and start to look through the website to try to find keywords, and that creates a more difficult circumstance. Here's a couple other places that you can put keywords, and one is called the image file. Now, all your pictures that you have on your website, They're usually file names out of your digital camera or some kind of clip art or wherever the heck you got your image from. It's already got some kind of associated file, and it's usually like a string of numbers. Or if you have a picture of a cheeseburger, it'll go cheeseburger dash 200 pixels or something, just some kind of information. And you can actually change those to put real keywords in them. And all you have to do is save a picture, and I'm going to show this to you when we go to a live site. You can save a picture on your website, right-click, save image as, and rename it something, save it to your desktop, and then go back and re-upload it into your website with real keywords. So instead of this right here being book 1 or something like that, or just a string of numbers out of my digital camera, I put book marketing secrets, which are actually some words that were relating to this blog here. So no matter what you have, you can hide keywords and image files. So don't despair. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. The next place that stands out to Google for keywords are what called heading tags or H1 tags. And all they are is a bigger font than the rest of the text. You can see here that whenever you write content for a page, you want to start out the first line or something with a title of the page or something that's in a bigger font. And it doesn't matter what color it is, obviously, but you want to make a keyword phrase bigger than the rest of the font so it stands out. And in Word or any kind of document, if we've ever written any kind of documents, you'll see that there's a bigger font. So if the rest of your font's like 14 points or something, then the H1 tag may be like 26. There's really no exact figure on how big the font's supposed to be, but font generally that's bigger than the rest and skewed to the top of the paragraph will stand out to Google. So you want to put keywords in those. And you can see here the leader in media coaching women entrepreneurs. That is a keyword phrase. Barbara says, when doing a blog post, does the title of the post count as H1? No, it doesn't. That's an entirely different thing, and that's where we're at right now, Barbara. The next place that you would look is in a blog post title, and most of us use WordPress for our blogs. About 90% of us, if not, we're using some other kind of service, but they're basically the same. So it's not an H1 tag in your blog. You can actually create an H1 tag in the body of your blog, but the title itself is where Google looks for keywords. So often we'll title a blog post, what I did today or something like that. And you have to remember you want to put keywords in there. So look at this. This is from Jeff Herring on his blog, and he put in a lot of different keywords in here. Profitable content creation. What do I do with my content once I've created it? Okay, what I suggest in a blog post title is a main keyword phrase separated by a colon or a dash, and then the name of the blog or what it's about. But always put some kind of main keyword phrase. In this example, it's profitable content creation. Very good keywords there with Jeff Herring. And then he titles the rest of the blog basically what it's about. What do I do with my content once I've created it? And then he gives you some tips. Okay, so Barbara, yes, H1, you don't need to worry about H1 in a blog post because the blog post title is taking the brunt of all that. In fact, Google says that they'll look at a blog post title and rarely look through much of the blog post content. So you can be very free with the content in terms of what you're doing. You don't have to skew a whole bunch of keywords in there as long as your title is done. The fifth most prominent place where Google can see keywords on your web page is again in what's called the anchor text, and that's simply a clickable link. Now, how many of us are writing on our websites and our clickable links are read more or click here? A lot of us, and I see that even with very experienced marketers with very expensive sites. The anchor text, not only should it have keywords in it, but it should be words that make you want to click on it. So you can use certain phrases. You want to weigh them equally in terms of a keyword and something that will make me want to click on it. Click here doesn't make me want to click on it, to be honest with you, even though it sounds like it's a call to action of some sort. It really is kind of blasé, and people overuse it. Read more, things like that are very insufficient psychologically. So look at these clickable links. Content creation. This again is on Jeff Herring's site. And you can see each clickable link has got keywords in it. And he did that on purpose because the code that makes this clickable, called an href tag, and you don't need to know all that. It's just whatever, what the code that makes it a clickable link stands out to the search engines, and they look for those. And not only that, obviously I know what I'm clicking on because he's telling me it's list building or product creation. I have a choice here of different things that I want to learn about in Jeff's website. So just putting click here and read more and stuff like that is not even psychologically enticing. All right. Big problem number 2. Now, this is something that just there's no excuse for letting this kind of thing go, because building an email list is the number one most important thing that you can do with your website, bar none. Okay? Having it look good, having it brand your business, maybe trying to sell some CDs or something, none of that matters as much as capturing the email address of your visitor so that you can market to them over and over, year after year after year. And it's been tested a million times that rarely do people buy anything from a website the first time they visit. So if they leave without you capturing their information, they will never be back. And you have lost that effort and that visitor basically forever. If you can get them to sign up for something, they'll read your newsletters and your autoresponders and your coupons, and eventually they're going to buy something. Okay? So no one signing up is big, big, big problem, and it's number 2 here tonight. And capturing people's information is the most important part of a website's job, just like I just said. Opt-ins are how you build a list of prospects. And an opt-in, you've seen it a million times, just a place to put your name and email, and you get something for free. Here's the problem. Your sign-up form doesn't stand out, or your visitor can't find it at all. And there's a few ways we can remedy that. Increasing sign-ups and opt-ins are critical to the success of your business. So here are a few things you can do. You can make bright colors that attract attention. Often opt-in forms will use certain colors that aren't part of the natural website scheme, so they actually stand out. And if they stand out like a sore thumb, that's a good thing that you want to use. Also, an opt-in form, it needs to be in a place where we can keep seeing it, such as a header or a sidebar. And it needs to be what we call above the fold. That means I don't need to scroll down too far, if at all, to see the opt-in. It should be something visible and very prominent the minute I come to the site without any scrolling whatsoever. That's called above the fold. And it also needs to be on every single page of your site. So if I see it on the home page and I didn't sign up yet, and then I go over and read your blog, or I go over to your store, or I read your testimonials, and if it's out of sight, out of mind, I'm not going to sign up. So you basically let me off the hook in terms of getting my information. So each and every page needs to have an opt-in on it. And it needs to give something away that solves problems and offers a real solution to what people are looking for. So if I came to a site looking for type 2 diabetes recipes, for instance, don't let me just read the recipes on the site and leave. Offer me a free, like a recipe guide or something. And it needs to be something that I can get immediately. And it should be like a free gift. So don't use the words newsletter and things like this, because I really don't want another newsletter. What I want the opt-in to say is 10 top diabetic type 2 diabetes recipes that I can use this weekend. And that's enticing to me. For free? Sure. I'd like to see those recipes. And especially if I can get it now and it's easy to read and it's very user-friendly. So you want to make sure you do that. Here's a few examples of ones that I've searched around on the web here. The top one is up there. The top left is one from Jeff Herring's site, and it's actually in the header of his website, which is really nice. Then, of course, is one to the right there. That's a typical sidebar type one. And then there's pop-up boxes. Jim says, how do I feel about pop-up boxes? That's fine. Actually, I don't like them personally, but they work. So it's really, I'm torn with that. People that use pop-up boxes have a higher rate of signups. Uh, so don't let your initial problems with pop-up boxes, don't take it personal. If you don't like them, that's fine, but try using them. And here's my favorite pop-up box, Jim. It's one where I didn't sign up or buy anything, and it's called Exit. So as I'm trying to leave the website, pop-up box pops up then, not at the beginning, but as I'm trying to leave, it says, wait. I think a lot of you guys have seen that. It says, wait, here, once you get this free recipe guide or this free checklist to save taxes or whatever it is, or a free coupon or something. So an exit pop-up works better. So here's an example. Now look at some of these. What's kind of similar between all of these, if you look at it for a minute, they got certain colors that stand out, like red and orange, which normally is not part of the color scheme of the website overall. So Jeff's orange, then we have a red download, and then Tom's got this big red thing at the box. Those colors are specifically made to catch the eye. So that's a good idea. So you want to make sure that you use colors that pop out. And if you look around the web, you'll see a lot of people just aren't doing this. Or even take a look at your own website and see, are you doing that at all? All right, here's big problem number 3, and it's simply called usability. Can your visitor get around easily? A website needs to have a nice flow from one page to the other. It shouldn't be confusing. Can the visitor get back to where they first came from? Whether it was a home page or a blog post, people like to get back to where they were. And whether you use what we call breadcrumbs or it's just good, easy navigation that just makes a lot of sense, don't over confuse everyone trying to have a million links. Visitors need to find their information quickly and easily. If they're confused, they'll leave. And if they're offered too much information, they'll leave. We're under the misnomer that if we offer a lot of information, that we're being generous. But actually, it confuses our website visitor very easily. So we want to make sure that our links and our navigation are very deliberate and move people from one page to the next. Here's the problem I see. Your website has too many links, and confusion will cause the visitor to leave. It's a very common problem. Oops. What happened? Hold on just a sec. Okay. Jump to the end there. Can your visitor get around easily? Look at this picture that I found on the web. And these people here, I guess they just wanted to make sure that there was a lot of stuff on there that they could share with you, thinking that, well, if we share a lot of stuff, then they'll be happy. No, when people come to a website like this, they have no idea even what to click on, and it becomes so confusing and so overwhelming that they actually just leave. And this is a very professional site. I can't remember the URL to it, but it's an expensive site. It's not put together by amateurs, but this is just too much stuff. This is an example of what a bad over-linked site looks like. And also, they're not using keywords in most of this stuff. Most of it looks like it says click here. So they don't even have the proper keywords or anything as links here. But you see sites like this all the time, and they're not user-friendly. There's just so much here, I don't even know what I would do. And most people just leave. So don't turn into one of these kinds where we're just offering way too much stuff. So simple navigation is the key. And you'll see on some very sophisticated sites that there's a very limited amount of navigation, and the navigation links actually are kind of enticing and make you want to click on those. Again, just like clickable links, navigation links, you can call them whatever you want. So the more creative you are, the easier it will be for your visitor to be happy with their experience. So simple navigation, easy find home button, a minimal number of clickable links. It's really nice. And navigation should describe what they're looking for. So this little bit of navigation here is from Tom's site, Tom Antion, and you can see that he's used different words for different pages. So be a speaker instead of learn to be a speaker or something like that, or just some kind of store to sell things. Be a speaker. That's kind of convincing. So maybe I'm looking for information on that. And need a speaker. Usually you have something that kind of barks a command like hire me or something like that, and it sounds kind of pushy. Need a speaker? Well, maybe I was here looking for a speaker. So yeah, I like the way he navigated that. Free articles. People love that stuff for free, so that's always a nice navigation. Speaking tools. All right, speaking tools is actually his store. So instead of putting products or store, which turn people off because they really don't want to buy anything. He put speaker tools and speaking tools, and when he did that, people clicked on it 5 times as much as when he just put products because they wanted to see what the tools were. And then, of course, when they're things to buy, then they were already in the store. But a lot of people are turned off by that. And then, of course, you can just use any kinds of stuff like this. But this is a 1,000-page website, Antion.com, and this is all the navigation that's on it. And it's very precise and it's very easy to use. I know exactly where I'm going and exactly how to get back. So that's an example of simplified navigation. So we're going to go over and look at a few sites here in just a minute. So hold on. This is big problem number 4 now. And the big problem number 4, nobody can share your stuff. If I come across a site that I know that my sister would love, how am I supposed to, or all my friends on Facebook or something, if you don't have any share buttons on, how am I supposed to share it? Well, am I supposed to call people on the phone and say, hey, you got to go over to this site, find a taxattorney.com / blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that. There should be an easy way to share this stuff, and I don't want to have to email it to everybody either. I want to use my social media to share it. Well, social media sharing is how content goes viral, if you ever wondered. And no one is sharing your content. And if no one is sharing your content or they're unable to, then Google will believe that no one likes it and will bump it further down into the search results. So if you're not able to have your visitors share your material, Google doesn't even know that people like it or not, because that is how they measure people liking stuff. Also, sharing offers what we call social proof. And a lot of these sharing buttons will show the actual numbers next to them of how many people were there and shared it. So I come to a site and it says tweet this, and it has 500 people have tweeted this. I know that 500 people have shared this and have liked it, and I'm not the only one who's ever been to the site. So it does double duty in terms of social proof. And here's the thing: if somebody can share your stuff on their Facebook, then that increases the chance by thousands and thousands of people coming back to your site from clicking on that link that they have just shared. Here's the big problem I've seen with most people. They don't have sharing software installed, or it's not working correctly. So let's take a look at what some of this sharing stuff looks like. They're just these little free plugins, and WordPress has dozens of sharing plugins. None of them are better than another. It's just that most people don't bother putting them on there, or they might not be on every page. The one on the left there is one that floats around in the sidebar. I know y'all have seen this stuff and probably wondered how to do it, and then neglected to maybe update that or put it on your site, but it's extremely important. The one at the bottom is one that's below every blog post and every page. It just gives people a chance. And you can see that there's little numbers here: tweet 9, Facebook like 2. These numbers build up over time as people share it, and it makes it look like that a lot of people really like this stuff. Not only that, I want someone to tweet my content to their followers. They might have 5,000 followers that can click on this. Think of how much free traffic that is. So great. So the Sociable plugin is what I use, and that's on WordPress. Sociable plugin, totally free. Or you can use sharethis.com for a regular website and WordPress. And you want to place it either at the top, the bottom, the sidebar. It doesn't matter where it is, just as long as people can see it. And putting sharing on every page, and especially every blog post, is critical. So sharing is one thing that you want to do. All right. In conjunction with sharing, there's obviously another way to build community here, and it's just having follow me buttons, which aren't the same as sharing buttons. With the sharing buttons, you don't have to have any social networking. That's so people can share your stuff on their social media outlets. If you have a Facebook page and a LinkedIn and stuff like this, and you want to build your friends and followers, then you should have follow me buttons, and they're completely different. These are just simple little buttons here, these icons, that when they click go to your page, and people have a chance to either like you or follow you or whatever. So this is another way to build a community, which is extremely important. You really just don't want people visiting your website and possibly leaving. If you can get them to your Facebook page and get them to like it, then you can capture them there. It's just as important as if you're getting their email, just about. And people love to like pages all the time. Not everyone wants to sign up for email anymore. They get too many emails, so you're going to have to give people a choice, either opt in or follow me, but just have everything available so that the choice is in the visitor's mind at all times. Richard says, do you change the name of those follow me icons with keywords? The icons are basically the same, Richard, and what you want to do is you want to keep them familiar. You want to use the logos, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and whatever ones that you have, because people are familiar with those. The call to action for them to follow it, want to stay connected, follow me, join my friends, none of those need to have keywords in any of that. It's not important that keywords are in the icons or in the file names or anything. So you just want to have a simple follow me buttons, and you can get those from WordPress totally free. So you want to make sure that you're using that and put them on a place where people can see them. Usually I like them up there in the sidebar, kind of just above or below the opt-in. All right, and now big problem number 5, last big problem, but huge. It's the no personal touch. What's personal touch, really? It's just that your website is the difference between something fun that shows off your personality, that brings people in, that has humorous stories, that has a video, they get to meet you, they get to interact with you. It's a good website as opposed to one that just is a blah business card of yours. And some people just put a little picture up in the header from 20 years ago, and then they go, meet me, I'm the chiropractor, and there's no videos, there's nothing, and it's just, here at, Johnson Chiropractic, we care about you. And so, come over and sign up. It's just boring. There's nothing going on here. Personal touch. Your website should at the very least, be an extension of your personality. This is your chance to go beyond the brochure and business cards that we've been stuck with, for all our careers. And the website isn't meant to be a business card. It's meant to be something more dynamic. So stuffy, if it's impersonal, that creates a disconnect. If you have a disconnect, people really don't care, and they'll just leave for something that's just more fun. A personal connection lowers sales resistance and builds trust. So if you're wondering why people aren't buying anything or they're not signing up for anything, it's because they don't care enough, because they don't know you well enough, and you haven't built what I call a virtual handshake. So here's the problem. Here's the problem with many sites. Your site is written in third person. It's not like you're speaking in your own voice. There's no way to meet you or see your passion, such as a video. And there's no way to reach out to you, such as following you on Facebook or leaving you a comment or filling out a survey or a poll or anything else. How to create a personal website experience is something that we all need to work on. And speaking in your own voice is probably the number one way to do that. Here's some other things that you can do to create a more personal website experience. A welcome video, a welcome to my website video. You'll see these every once in a while, but sometimes they're stuffed at the bottom, or they're in the contact page or something, or they're kind of buried in the sidebar. It needs to be something very prominent, right in your face. Have it start up as soon as people come there. Something where I can meet you. Your 20-year-old picture stuffed in your header from a million years ago is not dynamic enough for internet use. You have to take advantage of online video to tell me what the site is about, that you're glad that I'm there, that I get to see your passion. You get to explain to me a personal story. You can show me around the site, and you can say, here, look around the site. Be sure to sign up for my free checklist over here in the sidebar. And while you're at it, go visit my store or read the testimonials of all my happy customers. Use the video to build like a handshake, a real meeting between you and your visitor. Also, use updated contact information. If it still says 2008 or 2009 on your website, then I'm going to get the impression that you don't care about the website, or the information is totally outdated. So why in the world would I even sign up or buy anything from you if it doesn't work anymore? So another thing you can do, use engaging content, and that means be humorous, tell your unique story, tell interesting anecdotes, anything in the world that set you apart from your competition. You just can't compete with your competition in terms of visitors and website visitors and search engines. You really have to reach out to the visitor and tell them why you're different. And in many ways, you have to write that out or put it in a video. But if you have a personal story, then tell it. And use comments, use discussion forums, see if you can reach out to people and have them contact you. These Facebook social plugins are really cool. I'll show you an example of that if we can find one. You can use a survey or a poll to ask your visitors' opinions. You know, people like to put in their 2 cents worth, and they can be rewarded with like a free PDF or something for filling out a survey or taking a poll for 2 minutes. Well, what have you done there? You've captured their email information. So they're happy to take a poll that takes 20 seconds, and you've gotten information that you can sell to them over and over and over. So those are the kinds of things that you want to use for what is called the personal website experience. Now, here's the good part you guys have been waiting for. I'm going to look at a few real-world examples. I can't believe I've made it this far because I'm sicker than a dog, got a terrible headache and fever burning up here, but I still want to get to look at some real-world examples. And after the examples, we're going to give away another prize and have a Q&A. So a few people sent me in some examples earlier today, so I want to go ahead and go to that. And I'm going to look at the first one, which is really neat. Now, I want to tell you right now on the webinar that whenever I go to websites with GoToWebinar, the audio breaks up really bad and gets kind of funky, so just bear with me on that. I'll know if it's kind of breaking up. There's not a whole lot I can do. So let's take a look, and we'll just see if we can get through one of these without too much problems. So let me go and pop this in. This is Chris Carr, and it's a big site, but it's really neat. I just want to show you an example of a few things here. Okay. This is Chris's site. And you can see, let me refresh this one a little bit. You can see that it's got a beautiful big photo of her. I'm going to refresh this real quick. Yes. And what I do like about her site is that not only is it the navigation is really cool. It says meet Chris, press and praise. Praise I like for testimonials. Blog and video, they're kind of matched together. That's kind of neat. And there's some neat drop downs, which are very simple navigation. The wellness shop is kind of neat, and then it's got books and film and programs and e-guides, recipes, freebies is always good. Well, look at the big opt-in there in the middle. Join the wellness revolution, first name, email, and then look at her. She doesn't put submit or something like that or download now. She says hook me up. So she's using her own voice here, which is kind of neat. I like a lot of this here, mainly because there's a slideshow. And the slideshow, not only does it show you different modules that you can use, if you click on each one of these photos, it'll take you to a different part of the site. And then, of course, she's got a video, a welcome video like I really like. These are called modules, different modules that click people out to the different parts of the site. So if you don't really know where to go, these are big visual squares and stuff that take people instead of click here or go. They're very visually oriented. And then she has an opt-in at the bottom too. And it's not an opt-in that says get a newsletter. It says, do you want to feel better today? I like that. So you can sign up for your first name and email. So there's an opt-in in the top, opt-in at the bottom. So as I scroll through the site, I'm always seeing a place to sign. And also she's got this beautiful, beautiful welcome video here that is on YouTube. It's just an embed code, but it's really nice. You can see it's updated 2014. And she's got buttons that go to all her social media. So you can join her there. This is an example of a really decent site. Let's look at the keywords and let's see if we can, and the keywords are in, like I said, the title. And if you can see that there, to see any of the title information, all you got to do is put your tab or your mouse over the tab. And it says, Chris Carr, New York Times best-selling author, wellness activist. Well, those aren't the strongest keywords, but they're good for her brand. So she's optimized that. So this is a decent site. This site is takes a lot of bandwidth to load. So I'm not going to actually go through the whole site here. I just wanted to give you an example of what I thought were good opt-ins, a welcome video, all sorts of good stuff here. So let me go real quick, see what's going on if you have any questions here. Yeah, it's a really good site, Jim, too. And, you know, a lot of people can use something like this. This isn't too difficult to figure out, but I really like it. One thing I wanted to point out that I really like, I'm going to go over here, and I got to load this page for you. You have to see this. And this is something that I didn't think of. I'm really glad I saw this. Okay, no matter where I go, okay, this is the page. And no matter where I go on the page, again, the opt-in is always there. See that? And there's a lot of great stuff here. Look at all the testimony. See the sidebar, all the really beautiful images in the sidebar that take people through the site. All right, this is what I wanted to point out, was that there's a clickable link right here in the testimonials. I don't even use that, and I'm going to steal this idea that my testimonials, while someone's talking about how great the product is, I've always neglected to put a link to the product they were just saying how great it is, a link right to where you can buy it. That was really cool of her, and I thought that was something I wanted to point out. So she has a million testimonials, and again, there's another link. So out because it's really hard to load up, and I'm going to look at a couple more. Here's another one a friend sent me, and so I want to take a look at this. I haven't seen any of these yet, so bear with me. All right, this is webking.com. Somebody on my list sent me this and said that they should take a look at it. I don't really see a whole lot here, to be honest with you, but this is kind of an example of not enough navigation or something to tell me what to do. I figure maybe, okay, this must be a clickable link, this image here, so let's click on that and go inside the site. Okay. Okay, this doesn't do anything. All right, well, I don't know who sent me this. It must have been kind of some kind of joke. All right, anyway, that's funny. Let's go to another one. And let's see, Dr. Jim. Dr. Jim's on site tonight. Or he's on the webinar tonight, excuse me. So we're going to go over to your site. Dr. Jim, he's the one that won the autoresponder there earlier. So good job on that. We're going to site here. All right, this is Dr. Jim's site. docbarger.com. It looks pretty decent. It's got all this for a local business. This is very important to have. The phone numbers are very prominent. Now, if you're just in internet marketing or something and you're international, phone number is probably the worst thing that you could put on your website. But for local, it's critical. Okay. It's really, this is pretty well done here. There's the follow me buttons, I suggest. Good job, Dr. Jim. Very, very good. Yep, those go to his YouTube. Nice. And look, here is an example of the H1 tag I brought up earlier. Dr. Jim did a good job on that. It's got the name of your business, shows you how chiropractic can reduce or eliminate your headaches, neck pain, and back pain fast and all natural. Absolutely fantastic job on that. And that is exactly what I want to see in an H1 tag. Be something big that stands out, different color, before we get into the rest of the copy. That's very good. I'm going to look at your title bar. It says Folsom Chiropractic, Barger Chiropractic of Folsom. That's good. The reason I don't mind, obviously those aren't the strongest keywords I probably would have ever picked, but for local it is. Now, whenever you're a local business, like a chiropractor or a dentist or a veterinarian, it's very important that you use what are called geolocators. And what those are is you want keywords that have regional names, Virginia Beach, Shreveport, stuff like this, because that's what people type in. Your most important keywords as a doctor locally are the ones that people put in that are local. So when I look for a dentist, I don't put in my tooth hurts, and I don't put in dentist. I put in dentist in Norfolk or Virginia Beach. So that has to be your critical title bar area. And so, Jim, again, you did a good job with that. Let's keep looking. Welcome video, very good. Only a minute, perfect. Yeah, you did a good job on that. So he's got a video. He's got his Google map. All this is super critical to local stuff. This bolding here is good because I like it because it stands out. So I'm seeing everything that I would like to see, the office hours. Again, the number by the time I get to the bottom. And this is really nice. This is really nice. Now, Jim, we talked about personally. He called me a couple weeks ago about this. Asked if we need a opt-in to go on here, and I believe that you do, because a dedicated mailing list is perfect to give away education, a newsletter, some training videos about chiropractic, coupons or something to get people in, little things like that. Because if someone happens to leave here without calling the number and they don't sign up for some critical information about how to relieve their back pain like right now, then they may leave here and go to your competitor. So if you can at least get the opt-in, that's one step towards marketing your business, even on a local level. Let me check my questions here, just real case. Okay. All right, see if anyone had any questions. Okay. Let's keep looking at this one. I like this. Now, new patients, what is chiropractic? Location, hours, contact. These are all very logical navigation, but they could be a little stronger. And what I would suggest, Jim, about your navigation and your content is to educate your reader a little bit more instead of just talk about yourself too much. And why that is because often people aren't for chiropractors immediately. They're looking for information about back pain and things like that, or wondering what to do about back pain. Not everyone wants to call a chiropractor immediately. What they want to do is learn more about what is bothering them and whether they even need a chiropractor, because some people don't even know what a chiropractor even does. So information and education is important. So when I went to this page here, what is chiropractic? I just get this very general marketing, which is kind of cool. And I know you bought that from somewhere because that's not your own video or your own voice. But there's really nothing here about what is chiropractic besides watching this video. And then there's really no link or anything or no information. There's no text. The problem with this is that the search engines can't find any information on this whatsoever, because a search engine can tell what this video is saying, and it can't read any of the content in the video. In terms of search engines here, there's nothing on here at all that Google can look at or grab, and then there's no links to more information. So you want to be careful that when you do things like that, that there is some kind of content, and you want to educate people a little bit more than having some stock stock video like this. It's not as educational. I'd rather have another video of you in there working on patients or showing me, you know, how to pick up things properly, really educate me to build the trust that I need to hire you. Okay. And when we go to About Us or Meet the Team, take a look at this. These are nice pictures. There's you and your partner there. Now, these are all nice, but here's a clickable link that says headache, neck, mid, and low back pain. Those are great for keywords. Okay, I like that. But when I click on it, all it does is go back to the home page. When that should have went to a specific page where I can get more information about headache and pain, something that has a little bit more conversion to it than just the home page again. So you want to lead people in and educate them a little bit more on this kind of stuff. An example of another chiropractic site that educates their patients a little differently. Let me go to that real quick, Jim, just I wanted to show it to you. Okay, Jim, this is Denver Chiropractic, and I guess this is just a I guess it's just a chiropractor like yourself out in Denver. But notice what he's doing here. He's got all these categories, and this is a blog post, and there's a bunch of categories here with clickable links, all with certain keywords in it. And each one of these are made to educate the prospect more on what's going on, why are things happening the way they are, and then directly how chiropractic can fix each and every one of these. So this is what we call more educational or content-based site. And it goes in, and the reason he did this was because most people are searching on Google not for chiropractors, believe it or not. They're going to search for how to get rid of a headache. Why does my lower back hurt? What is sciatica? What are the symptoms of a pulled or herniated disc? People want to educate themselves a little bit before they start initially looking for chiropractors or the doctors to fix it. So you can see on this guy's site, he's got a lot of different things here that people are searching for first, and then is using how chiropractic can help, which would kind of lead to the conversion and maybe right to a place where they can sign up or get a coupon to use for their first time out or something like that. And they've got share buttons. Look at tweets. 395 people have tweeted this information. So this is a sciatica causes, sports chiropractic, sports injuries, types of headaches. These are all extremely powerful. And then there's related posts, and all posts have a lot of keywords in it. Back pain symptoms, top 5 reasons. People love top 5 reasons that they have a headache. What causes back pain? So these are the kinds of things that people are searching for. So in terms of your keywords, Jim, you need to use more educational based keywords. And of course, now there's places to leave a comment. And that's so those are just a few things that you might want to take away from tonight's webinar and make a few changes there. I'll go back to my questions, make sure anybody has any. Joanne, nice to see you. So Jim says, Should I add conditions treated and list them with links to separate pages to each under what is chiropractic tab? Yeah, well, generally, yeah. I mean, you just want to use certain keywords that people are looking for. So don't generally think that keywords are the people that are looking for are chiropractic in your town. There, you can also get a lot more traction, and because if someone puts in a headaches or back pain, if they use some general like that, and Google knows where my computer's coming from. So if you ever noticed, if I put in why do I have back pain or something like that, it'll refer me to keywords that are on local chiropractors because the cookies have been initiated to know that I'm in Virginia Beach. Try that sometime and you'll see that your Google knows where you live. Okay, it's just all there is to it. And so you should use more educational keywords, Jim, instead of just explaining what your office does and trying to get people just to call you, educate them first and then link to what chiropractic does, not just that video, but something that is more text-based and explain how chiropractic can fix it and use those keywords. All right, let's really quick look at another one. This is from someone else in my community here. I think her name is Christine or something. Don't know her personally, but we'll look at it. In there, guys. I hope everybody's having fun. Barbara says, I sure have a lot of work to do on my website just from tonight's tips. 1, 2, 3 kindergarten. Good. Excellent, Barbara. I'm glad you're here tonight. I know that you've been working on your site for years. All right, this is Being Sensual, beingsensual.com. And haven't seen this. All right, well, the first thing I noticed is this big picture of her, and that's kind of nice. And here's you can see that when I put my cursor over, it says Bad Kitty 10B. Okay, what you want to do is find the keywords on this. The keywords, I guess, are, I don't know what the keywords are. Expressing yourself. Okay, let's just pretend it was expressing yourself. It's kind of hard to type from this. Stands up for yourself. Let's just make that a keyword. Now, if I wanted to embed keywords, this is what I want to show you. I would save the picture, and you can see it says womanition, which is not a keyword because I don't even know, that's not a real word at all. I don't even know what that means. And what I would do is I would resave this like this. Increasing self-confidence. Let's just say that's your keyword. Increasing self-confidence. And I save this. Okay, I'm going to save it to desktop. Now go to the desktop. And you can see right here is the JPEG that now says increasing self-confidence. Those keywords are going to be embedded in this, and you can, at any time, reload that to your website and upload this. Now the keywords will be replaced, and the search engine will be able to see them, which is really cool. How does a search engine see what's in an image file? Well, a keyword doesn't, Google doesn't look at the front of your website. It looks at all this stuff here, and this is all code, okay? And the keywords that you hide in a JPEG or an image can be seen by Google inside this source code. Also, you can see, I wanted to point out, the title bar here is, why is that important? The title area here is the 80% of how Google finds a keyword. Why? Because it's all the way up the top of all this source code. It's only like 11 lines down, okay? Meanwhile, the site has 500 or 600 or 700 lines of code in here. Let me see, 727 lines of code. And up at the top here, the title, and look how it stands out. That is why Google It's so important that you make the title words your keywords. And hers are being sensual with the bad kitty. No, those aren't good keywords. As much as you might think they are, they're not. And that's not going to help you get traffic. Okay, you really have to do your keyword research and find out why in the world you're picking being sensual with bad kitty. Here's your opt-in. That's pretty. I like the red sign-up box. Sign up is not usually a good word because most people don't want to sign up for anything. They want something for free. What's she giving away? The Bad Kitty newsletter. Free Bad Kitty video included with subscription. Do I want to watch the Bad Kitty video, guys? Wow, this isn't really doing a whole lot for me. I'm not sure if I want to see that or not. I don't know about y'all. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's hilarious. Sorry, Christine. But the site's kind of crazy. Oh, let's go further. Let's dig further down, my friends. Here, now she's got a welcome video, which is kind of cool. I like that. Now, this is a little confusing. All these here are in kind of a purple, which kind of looks like they should be clickable links. And it would be nice if it took you into this a little bit, because below the video, she does have a few clickable links as her bullet points, but not up at the top. That's a little confusing. So you want to make sure you don't confuse people like that. And then be careful if you underline anything or make something a different color and it's not clickable, because people will just think it is. All right. Let me point this out. Copyright 2009. Okay, so now I know that she hasn't updated this website or even done anything with this thing in 5 years. Don't know why she sent it in for review, but that's a no-no. Uh-oh, Internet Explorer stopped working. All right. I hope you guys are still there. Get off of that. Okay, give me just a sec. Is everyone still there? That site kind of closed me down there. If everyone still can see that site, go ahead and say yes. Just so. Okay, good. Thanks, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. I didn't want to lose everybody tonight. I really didn't. But anyway, that's funny. Let me answer a few questions. I got a little building up here a tiny bit real quick before we look more at Bad Kitty. You look at Performing Edge. Yeah, Joanna might try to get to that tonight. Also, Richard, so you don't put dashes or hyphens in when renaming photos. It doesn't really matter about the hyphens and dashes in renaming photos. Nobody cares. And okay, so everybody can still see that. Let's take a look real quick. Her site is killing me here, so I don't want to lose the whole webinar just on this, but you can see that this isn't really all fantastic. So let's look at another site. Let's see if we could do this. Joanne had one that she wanted us to see. Open up my question box. Yeah, Jean says file names should have spaces. Typically, yeah, if you have spaces in the file names, it'll automatically create a dash when you save it and upload it. And it'll be a little easier for the search engine to distinguish the keywords instead of running them all together. So I appreciate that. Let's see. Performing Edge Coach. We'll see if that one will work. Hope I spelled that right. .com. Performing Edge Coach. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Yeah, sometimes these, you never know what you're going to get with these websites. Wow, this is really nice. This is Dr. Joanne. She's on the webinar tonight. I appreciate you being here. I like all this stuff. Very nice header. with lots of graphic-rich stuff. It's always good to put your associations and stuff in the header. You got the slideshow I like, and the slideshow, I can tell, goes to another page. Very good. There's a link to the sports page training video. Here's what I like, Joanne, about your clickable links. Performing Edge Code Professional Certification. That is definitely lots of good keywords in a piece of anchor text or a clickable link. Very good. I would have probably put, now this actually acts as an H1 or a larger text, so that actually qualifies. It doesn't look like it, but this actually qualifies as H1. This is who will benefit from PECI coach certification. If those are your keywords, then that's fine. She's also got her Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn follow me buttons very well. Get free access to mental training, coaching, tools, and tips. That's kind of neat. Submit. I would have changed that to give me my tools or something like that. You can do that in one shopping cart. I like all these little, we call modules, because you can read more from here, or you can click on the photo and it goes to the page. So instead of just having a blank or kind of a nebulous kind of click here, I like these broken up sections. So visually, it's very nice. And I like the little video. I would have probably tried to make that a little bit more prominent. I'd like to see a video. You have one on that is more right here front and center, because you're the coach here, and I'd like to meet you before I spend all that money with you. Subscribe to the blog. That's always good. People don't do that much anymore, but it's a good a second way to kind of capture their information. Joanne, you need to update the thing. 2011. Can't believe you left that. How long have you known me? You know that's my pet peeve, Joanne. Okay? You should have changed that before you made me look at it. All right, I'm just joking. Not really. But that's really good. Let me look at your title bar. Okay. This is too long of a title bar area. I want to show you something. Mental training. You know, you don't want to repeat the same keyword twice. Certification course, coaching certification, coaching. Now, if Google sees you repeating the word too many times in the title bar, they're going to think you're trying to spam them. Try to limit this to like 3 phrases, not like 6 or 7 that you have here. So, yeah, you want to be careful of the title bar. This would have been better in what are called your keywords, your meta keywords area, which isn't super important anymore, but this is too many in here. First off, no one can see it all in a search result, and secondly, it's going to look like you're spamming, so you've got to be really careful of that. You're going to have to go in and change that. Let's go look at another page real quick and see if you did the same thing here. Let me go to Sports Psychology Tools. You could have used keywords in there, Joanne, in that photo, such as coach certification. Now, when I talk about repeating keywords, you can repeat keywords if they're in photos and images and blog post titles. You just don't want to repeat the same 2 or same 3 over and over again in your title bar area. You want to spread your keywords out and make them look what we call natural. So in your title area, you need 3 keywords that don't really repeat themselves too many times, and you want to keep it shorter, such as this right here would have been a good phrase in a title bar. And then you can put some keywords in your image, and you can repeat them throughout your text, and you can put them in the H1 and some other places that we pointed out, but not in the same exact places. That looks like spamming, so you want to be careful. All right, let's look at your title bar here. So each page, this is one thing that we forget about, each page of your site has to be optimized with keywords. So you use sports psychology, performance coaching, maximize your mental game, sports psychology, performance coaching. You repeated it again. So be careful of that. Take that out. You're going to get, you can't repeat the exact same one. It's just going to really get you in a lot of trouble. So I'm glad I pointed that out for you. You did mix up the keywords on each and every page. Needs to have optimized keywords for each page. And you did a good job of that. It's just that you put too many. And these are all good keywords that you have in here. These could have been a few clickable links possibly to some sales letters or some places to buy some stuff maybe. Because once I'm here, you know, you're kind of making me read a lot. Look at all this stuff. That's just a lot and a lot of text. I'm not really going to read much of that. I think if this is a video, maybe explain some of this. It should have been, you got a nice place to leave. That's nice. But you can see that that's a lot of text, Joanne. So this is really nice. Plus, I don't see any place to share this. Where's your share buttons? Okay. I'm going to question box again. I'm going to see if Joanne's bitching me out here. Should I put the option box at the top? She says, how do I change the title bar? How do you change the title bar, Joanne? If this is a typical website, typical, I mean traditional, as opposed to WordPress. If it's WordPress, you can use what's called the all-in-one SEO pack. And you install that. It's a free plugin, the all-in-one SEO pack. And there'll be a recording on this, so in case you missed that. When you install that, when you go to the bottom of a WordPress site where you write the content of each page, there'll be an area at the bottom where you can put in title, keywords, and description. And those will override your default meta tags, so you can put whatever you want on each and every page. And if it's a traditional website, such as this one, I think this is not WordPress, you just, in your editor where you build the website pages, right at the very top, there'll be a place that says title, and you can write whatever that is, and again, it'll override whatever default keywords, which are usually if you don't change your meta to titles, all they'll be is these here: about, blog, certification. So whoever did this for you, somebody put those keywords in there, Joanne, so you want to make sure that you change them. So again, let me see real quick if she's got any more questions. CR says that performingedgecoach.com is not a tablet responsive site. Okay, it's not mobile friendly. That's what I'm getting out of that. So we want to, you want to make sure that your site is mobile friendly these days. And Joanne says, how do I add share buttons on each page? Sharethis.com, you add a code that you add to each page of your site if it's a traditional site, or it'll be a plugin that will automatically ask you, do you want the share buttons to appear on every page in WordPress? And you say yes, and it will all automatically. WordPress is really easy to change. CR says the title should be 60 characters long. Exactly. So 60 characters, you're limiting. If you write in too many, not only are you having an issue about repeating the same words, which isn't a good idea, but it's anything over 60 characters, Google doesn't even really see it anyway, and your search engine results won't see it either, and it'll be cut off, and it'll look kind of weird. So you just want to be careful of that. Araxi has a site she wants me to look at. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me see what else we have here. Joanne says, how do I change meta titles? Yeah, it's done through the SEO pack. How do I make site mobile friendly? Joanne says, I haven't the slightest clue. That is, you can actually go to Fiverr, Fiverr.com, 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 and there's some people there that know how to install certain codes or plugins to make site mobile friendly, which is, I just automatically, my sites are mobile friendly because all I use is YouTube, and I have a mobile friendly plugin because I use WordPress. For my sales letters, they're very they're very the template's very thin, so they happen to fit in. And those are just traditional websites, HTML5 I use. Those are all mobile friendly. But I don't know exactly how to make one, right out of a site like yours, Joanne. But you can actually get it changed now fairly cheaply. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. It's very important. Should have freebie at the top right. Well, yeah, okay, Joanne, when we talk about your opt-in, let me take a look here real quick on the page. And I don't see the opt-in anymore. It was on the home page. Remember, you talked about the get the free tool and tips, and it had the submit button, but I don't see it here. Now it's gone. It needs to be on every page, and it also needs to be up here. This here is to a strategy session. Now that might be good because people like that kind of stuff. But if it's something for sale, like you're coaching or training, and it's expensive or something, you don't want to put it here. You want to put an opt-in. So this is probably a decent place to put this. I think this is your freebie, to be honest with you. It says free strategy session, so that'll act as a good freebie. So really, the site's beautiful. You just want to touch on a few of these points that we went over tonight, and try to trim this up a little bit, and try to make it a little bit easier to get through. It's a little busy. There's a lot to do and a lot to click out, and I see that some of these links take you to other sites, and that's kind of a no-no. You don't want to link to other sites too much, even if it's your own. Try to keep a site what we call condensed, and so it goes around in one big circle without leaving to go somewhere else. All right, I'm going to look really quick here and just do one more real quick. And someone wanted me to look at findlovestars.com. Never seen this before, but I'm going to give it a shot. Findlovestars.com. I'm not sure what this is. I hope it doesn't have it. You never know, people. I don't think in my webinar try to send me a virus, even though I'm sick. Not the virus I'm talking about. Anyway, let me look at this. Okay, this is like like a Terra Love site. Find Love. This is kind of nice. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what I'm supposed to do here. Just go into the blog first, and that's not too bad an idea, but get thicker here, so I'm going to have to cut this short pretty soon here. But these are blog posts, and these are all links out to other sites, it looks like. I don't know if you own these sites, but the only links I see, some are clickable, some aren't. That's kind of confusing. If I can't click on this, I'm not going to be able to get there, because I'm not going to type that in or try to paste it in. You have a lot of things going to other sites. Now, look, listen to the replay over Instant Teleseminar. Instant Teleseminar provides you with a free MP3 that you can embed right here in your own site, instead of sending people off of your site out to other sites. So it's important that you don't link out to a bunch of other sites, because what am I going to be here for 10 seconds and then click on one of these, be gone, and I'm not coming back here. So you really just offered your visitor a free way out of doing anything on this site. I don't see any kind of opt-in or anything. These little floating category keywords are cute. They really do anything but that's SEO. You want to be careful that foxes aren't really anyone cares. Won't be done still on this. This should have not blog posts with links to other sites, but something about you. I would go to the About Me page. Let's take a look at that. This navigation is very hard to read. I don't see it up here. If I just scroll down, just half click, they're gone, and now I don't see anything. So we want to be careful of that. Sitemap is not something you put in a navigation. That's something you put in the bottom navigation, or you put on the bottom of a page that no one sees, because it's only for Google. It's not for really anybody else. Let's go. We'll find out who you are, because I have no idea. Okay, that was easy. There's a shareable. Okay, that's good. Share content. You've got some keywords and clickable links. And these clickable links are still going into the site, so that's not bad. Recent thoughts, that's okay. Shop, stores, you're just sending I don't know what all this is. Astrology.com. Let me go to that. It's a little confusing. So sure. Now that was just linked to. I hope that's an affiliate link. Otherwise, I'm never going to come back to your site again. Now, Google doesn't want to see is a whole bunch of linking out, because it's just that you buy links for people or something like that. And Google doesn't want a site just full of links that go to other sites. They want your site to link with itself. When I hold my cursor here, it says findlovestars.com/go/astro, but it redirects me to astrology.com, which I'm taking that some kind of affiliate link. And that's fine, but it's a little early in the game to be just using this as an affiliate. You're not really going to make any money off astrology.com as an affiliate. You're going to make a lot more money trying to find something to sell here for real. Otherwise, you don't see any picture of you. There's no pictures on here at all. They optimize the images for Google or anything like that. So, yeah, I know this site's kind of new like that. A lot of this. As we look at the source code, you'll see that the title bar just says about Matron Lucine, find love, stars, and spells. That's what I mean about Matron Lucine. That's kind of like a default where I know that you haven't gone in and optimized your keywords. Okay, so if you want to drive traffic here for affiliates and you want to sell affiliate products, that's fine. But if you don't have the SEO in your title bar to drive traffic here, no one's ever going to find this site and click on ads, which is basically all this is. So, and you make sure that your SEO is proper. Otherwise, this site doesn't do anything. All it does right now is basically just try and sell these other services. There's any idea of making money. I've done it myself. You have to more to your SEO to get people here so you can sell stuff. You won't make any money in the site. So let me know based on that. So let me go over and open up the question pane again. She says, I have users signing up but don't know how they do it. Okay. Well, we'll have to take a look at that, my friend, and I have to monetize it. Yeah, well, obviously you are trying to monetize it through ads, but that your SEO needs to be encouraging to try to do that, because to sell ads you need traffic. That's all it is. So we're off of that for now. My throat's starting to go, so I'm not going to be able to get any more critiques. But the good thing is there's some other things that you need to know, and I want to make sure that I explain a few other things that we didn't go over, because I could talk all night if I wasn't sick. But there's some other things that I didn't get to cover, and a couple of them are here. And where to put videos on your website. We saw some videos on some of these sites. They were all different places. I saw Jim's was in the sidebar. Joanne had one in the sidebar and in the middle. But there's a couple places that are most prominent that really make people receptive to to getting traffic. And also fixing small mistakes that could get you banned. With that bad kitty site or whatever it was we were looking at, I wasn't able. The reason I couldn't go further into it and it was crashing my Internet Explorer is there were some broken links on there that went to 404 pages that I had to catch really quick. So if you have broken links and you don't go through your site each and every link in each and every page and do some spring cleaning, Google will ban you. It's simple as that. Also, how do you keep your visitor from getting lost? You see some of these sites, they were a little confusing, and some were fairly simple. And that's the whole idea. If your visitor gets lost, it's not a good thing. Okay. There's also copywriting tips. We covered a little bit of that in trying to get people to click on links. But there's copywriting tips that I'm specifically good at that help people love you and help buy from you. And we didn't even get a chance to look into any of the real content there to see if we were using that language. And we did go over where to put keywords, but what keywords, what exact keywords can you use, what kind of research, and how do you do the research that brings you the most traffic. I showed you the places to put them, but that was only the beginning. Then what else can we do? Also, how to make your blog posts conversion friendly. Every blog post isn't there to educate people and just to have a good time. It needs to lead someone to a specific conversion, either opting or buying something on each and every post without it looking obvious. How do we do that? Well, look, you're one of the lucky ones I'm going to be giving away another autoresponder program here in about 2 minutes, so stick with me. If you're one of the lucky ones tonight, everyone's lucky who's on my webinars usually, and I do appreciate the time you spent tonight, especially with me not feeling that great and not being that excited about it. But I'm glad you were here. And if the time was ever right for you to get a personalized professional website critique from me, going through every single page and every single link and looking at everything that you need to do, it's right now. And I have a solution for you, and I want to offer you this. It's a personalized 30-minute website critique. And I use a screen capture video, and I go through your site just like we did some of these. Of course, it's easier because I'm not on GoToWebinar, so it doesn't like crash, and I can go through the entire site, and I record 30-minute to 45-minute or so screen capture video that you can watch over and over. It's be posted up on a private YouTube page. So it's like watching me critique your site, each and every page. It's like looking over my shoulder while I do that, and I take you step by step through your entire website. What you get from that is immediate results and benefits because I'm showing you exactly what changes need to be made. It's personal to you and no one else, and I show you exactly how to fix it. And you can even send the video to your webmaster, or you can use it to make the changes to the videos yourself. Also, I'm also offering a personalized keyword research where I look at the keywords in your business and I use my keyword research tool, and I find all the appropriate keywords. Could be dozens to 100 or so of these keyword phrases, and then you can put them in the title bars and your files and your images and your blog posts, articles, YouTube videos, all the stuff that you ever use out there. You'll have this list with the monthly search numbers of the keywords that relate best to your business. And of course, I got some bonuses with this offer. First one is Tom Antion's MP3 called 60 Website Tips in 60 Minutes. Bonus 2 is a recording that I did called Crafting the Perfect Opt-in Strategy. Perfect for those of you who didn't have a decent opt-in tonight. Bonus 3 is Press Release, how to get traffic using press releases. And of course, my friend Mark Bullard's got a book called More Than Website Optimization. It's a free ebook. $237 in free bonuses with this offer. And here's someone that used this. Her name is Rhonda, and she said she bought the critique from me and said it was so great to receive. This is my sister's website. The critique was fantastic. GoDaddy designed your site, and she's pissed. They charged her and did not know what she wanted. You had great suggestions. You're the best. And then a couple other people, your critique was awesome. I've just never looked at my site this way. So I'd like to offer like a third set of eyeballs or a second set of eyeballs if you're the only one that owns it. And we can go through this. And she said, your video took me step by step through this used to be confusing process. And then Julia was another critique. She joined the critiques here and got one for me, and she loved it. And her information helped her with the design before she made the website, which is a whole other thing. If you don't have a website at all or you're redesigning, this is the time to get the critique. You can get one tonight from me, all of this, plus all the bonuses, everything, the keyword research, the 30 to 45-minute screen capture, personal website critique. It's only $77 over at expertwebwriting.com/critique. And I also have a $40 easy payment plan. So you can pay $40 down, $40 next month if you're short. And all the bonuses, even if you get the 40 plan, are delivered immediately. So for $77, you get everything. This personal website critique is something that you can use over and over and make sure every single page of your site. So many people have took me up on this last week or a couple weeks ago, and then so many people wanted me to do this again. It was like I had to do an encore webinar. I had literally dozens and dozens, I think 70 or 75 people email me personally to do this again. So real quick, I want to give away another prize for the autoresponder training system. So whoever out there wants that, I hope everyone's still there and not asleep. Good, good, good. There's a couple people left. K, thumping, tail wagging, speed of light, please. Wow. How can you refuse that? K, are you sure you don't have this thing already? Because I swore I gave it to you already, but maybe I didn't. And please put link in chat box. Yes, I will. I'll do that, CR. I'm going to put the link to where we can get the critique tonight. Before I give away this, hold on. expertwebwriting.com/critique. Expert Web Writing. There we go. Okay, I sent it out in the chat box. It's expertwebwriting/critique. And who's getting the prize? Rich says, I'm here. Wow, he's begging. Richard says, we want it. Okay, Richard, you're getting it, man. And good. Okay. All right, Richard, you're getting the autoresponder. I've never seen somebody beg so hard in my life. You're making me sick. All right, Richard, V, and K. Even though I think you got it, K, already, I'm going to give you another one because obviously you need it really bad. And Richard says, yay. And he says, oh, my God. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you enjoy that. Anyway, I gave away 2 of them. Can you believe that? All right, expertwebwriting.com/critique for $77 gets you everything. Plus, you can ask me questions and stuff, and we can work together on actually fixing the problem instead of me just pointing out a bunch of stuff and leaving you hanging. Don't think that's what we do. Richard says, I'm demand. I know. I'm in demand, too. All right. So my voice is going. I need to take a drink of water here before we get to the Q&A, so bear with me. Oh, my God, I'm dying. Anyway, I'm so glad that you guys were here. Richard says, should I get this or arrange something different? I don't know, man. Just send me an email. I don't know what that means, but you don't really need the critique. I think you got it already. So, I also wanted to mention, if you have a number of sites, Richard and a couple of other people have actually taken me up on multiple sites, and I have a deal. It's not in here. It's just when you buy it, when you join the critique tonight with me, if you want me to give you one. A second site is only $25, and the third and fourth site $25 each. So I'm giving away these discounts for $25 a pop if you have multiple sites, and a number of people taking that up with me because they have multiple sites. So you don't have to pay $77 for each and every site you have. You can actually get a discount. Now that won't be in checkout, and it's not explained in checkout. It's just that if you get the critique, we'll have an email correspondence, and if you have a second site, I'll give you a special link where we can get your second ones. Chris in Canada says, use single malt scotch for your voice. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, what's great about my community is I have so many like holistic practitioners and doctors and chiropractors and life coaches and nutritionists that, I get all this great free advice. And you know what's stupid? I never take any of it. So how's that going to work for me? I couldn't tell you. All right, if you have any questions about speak or anything I went over tonight or meta tags, get them in now because I'm fading fast. Okay, so $70 expertwebwriting.com/critique. I'm ready to get going to bed here. Joanne says she's always got lots of questions and good ones. For selling my certification program, which site should I send people to? I have 2 sites. One is Performance Edge Coach, the one you just critiqued, and the other site is another site, a sales letter only. We've always talked about, Joanne, that the sales letter is always the best place to sell some kind of training or certification. You use your other sites to educate and to link out to the sales letters. If they're going to click out anywhere, it shouldn't be another site where they have to find more information, or it shouldn't be a sales letter that's got a lot of other navigation or stuff like a page of your regular site. So we've talked about that a couple times before on some of these critique webinars, that you should really link to a dedicated place to buy something at all times. Every place on my site, if I'm going to link out, goes to a sales letter or an opt-in. That's it. I want someone to sign up or buy something. If they're not going to do that, then at least send me love notes or something, or get the hell off the site, because I want them to do something. I'm not just putting the site out there for make myself look good, which is a lot of what websites are. They're just branding tools that don't really do anything to make money. So we really want to have dedicated conversions on every site. And of course, I'll show you exactly how to do that in your personal critique. Chris in Canada says, thanks for hanging in there. I really appreciate that. And in your second site, sportspsychologycertification.com, Joanne, I know you have a bunch of different sites, drjoanne.com. I've seen a bunch of them. And again, they should always, by the time I've educated myself to a certain degree, they need to link out to a dedicated sales letter where I can buy this coaching from you. So it's really important. I'm going to have to meet. Okay, dying here. All right. So if you got any other questions, pop them in because I'm going to have to get going before I pass out with fever. And this recording will be available, plus the slides, because the slides are really important, so you can see all the bullet points and all the stuff without having to sit through this long-winded webinar again. So the slides are great, and you'll have all that tomorrow. So if there's any other questions, I'm going to get going. Joanne says, you said we should not link out to a second site. Is that bad for Google? No. What I mean is that you can link out to a sales letter or something that is either part of your site or part of a domain you own. That's fine. What you don't want to link out to is have a whole bunch of links on your site going to a bunch of different places. That's a little bit like the last site we just looked at, where she would have a lot of affiliate links and stuff. And then some of them weren't affiliate links. Some were just going out to stuff like Instant Teleseminar, and she didn't even have to do that. You want to keep people on your own site, or you're going to link to one of your sales letters. That's the point where they're signing up or buying something. So it doesn't really matter at that point if you're linking out. But Google doesn't like what we call link farming, where we have tons and tons and tons of resource links going all over the place. All right. Are the previous webinars still available for viewing? Yeah, I'm going to make a page where you can watch actually all my webinars. I've been meaning to do that, and I'll probably take care of that this weekend because Tom does that, and I need to do that myself. But if there's a particular webinar that you ever want to see, you can just write me and I'll link to it. But I'm going to build a page where everybody can see all the links to watch all the videos of my past webinars. So I really appreciate it. She says, thank you, and I do. Thank you for being here, and everyone else for being here too. I missed the first one in the series. Yeah, got a lot of new people all the time, and I need to make sure that they have access to all the webinars because got a lot of good ones. Donna says, this is Donna from Per Palace. Hi, Donna. I'm glad to see you. How many keywords on a page? I'm going over your critique and making the changes that you recommended. So Donna got the critique. Yeah. How many keywords on a page? Well, that depends on what you're talking about. Like we said, you don't want to repeat any. You want to have 3 sets of keywords in the title area, just 1 keyword phrase per image, a keyword in a title in a blog post or something, or an H1 tag should have 1 keyword phrase and then 1 like a sub keyword or some kind of secondary keyword phrase. And now in your main text, make sure that it just doesn't look visually like you're spamming and stuffing keywords in there. You don't really want per page on a keyword any more than about 5 to 6% of the same basic keyword repeated over, such as cat box or whatever it is. Try not to repeat the same word. If it looks like you're repeating it, especially to the point of 15 or 20% of the content, then you are definitely going to be banned. So you don't want to do that. So just make it look natural. Don't make it look like it's obvious that you're stuffing. And if you put keywords in different places, like the title bar, and then maybe a different keyword in an image, and then maybe a couple of extra keywords in your regular text, or an H1 tag or something like that, and they're kind of different keywords, or they're related but slightly different, all that looks really natural to the reader and Google. So just always focus on what looks natural. I know that you've probably seen sites before that you've seen the same keyword, like leadership skills, repeated like 1,000 times on one page, and your eye could just see it from like 2 feet away. That's when you know you're about to get banned, okay? So be careful with that. Good SEO. And these are the kinds of things that our Love Stars friend should probably be really working on her SEO, because I want you to get the traffic so you can sell and make real money and really monetize those affiliate programs. So I'm going to get going. If there's no more questions, you can write me at videopower@live.com, and I'll answer any questions that you may not have got a chance to answer tonight or ask tonight. And because I'm really fading fast, I can't believe I made it almost 2 hours. We're going to have to get going. And so if there's any more questions, get them in right now. Otherwise, we've got to get going. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.